Alright, I'm back. So, a couple things. I sold my Camaro to my best friend, my old roommate, so they can make a race car out of it, because I needed room in the shop, and it's taking too long for me to build, and I'm just tired of it, to be honest. So, now we're going to start something new here. It's going to be a short one, maybe a couple episodes. You're sitting right on top of it right now, actually, so we will take a look at it. But it's a car that was in my family's family, so my cousin's dad's grandmother's car, not my grandmother, other side. So they've had it since pretty much brand new, and what my uncle told me was she got it from a guy down off at Air Force Base that had ordered it the way it is, and he got stationed somewhere else, so when it got here, supposedly he only had it for like 2 months. So she got it pretty much no miles. So from there, she had passed in '92, and from what I know, just sat in the garage till my cousin got it when he was 16 and drove it to high school, and that was back in the early 2000s, and it has been sitting in a storage unit since 2010 collecting dust. Still all original, just with a couple of this and that's on it. But it was given to me so that way he could stop paying storage unit fees on it, because he lives on the other side of the country, and I can't thank him enough, because this is the car that sparked my love for these cars, and you will see why here in a second. So let's take a look at it. When I got pictures of it pulling it out of the storage unit covered in dust and everything. I got a picture of it on the trailer and a picture of it here covered in dust. So I didn't get video, so I put the pictures on the video. So let's take a look at it now. I've been doing some polishing and cleaning up on it.
Another Sunday morning, I'm lying here, head all cloudy from smoking beer. Tired and weary, but I can't sleep, eyes wide open. The house is dirty, the dishes high.
Was a rose alone in the wind, silent and still, her story within. A butterfly king with wings so low.
Okay, and here it is. It's an 84 Camaro Sport Coupe. It's not a Z28 like I love, but reading all the RPO codes, it's pretty much a Z28 package, just on a Sport Coupe. So it's got the performance package 305, it's a 700R4, so it's automatic. It's got the 308 with limited slip rear end in it, and it's got the performance suspension. So obviously for sitting so long, it definitely needs new shocks. So I'll be going through and doing some things to it, but I'm going to be making it my daily driver. So let's take a look at it. As you can see, I did some polishing and cleaning up. So let's take a look at the inside. Okay, now the seats are still a little wet because I just detailed them at like 2 in the morning. So voila, interior, still got the ashtray in there, knobs, buttons, everything still works. He has a little Velcro here for his remote control CD player, and I'll show you that whole setup here in a second. So a GT Grant steering wheel. I mean, everything in here is factory, aftermarket radio though. Really nice, no rips on the seats. This foam right here is still intact and like held up and not compressed like every other third gen. Cleaned up pretty nice. It was a little stained. I don't have any pictures of before or anything, so I'm not going to be able to put that up. But two-top, obviously, as you saw. Prom of 2003. Huh. So let's take a look in the back there. Ah. And, you know, since this was the early 2000s when they did this, you know, obviously they had to get the subs in here. We got 2 amps in here. Pretty funny. I'm gonna leave them in. They're probably no good at this point, but we might get new speakers, but I'll leave it hooked up. So, let's take a look around the body and in the engine bay. Alright, now, since these struts are out on these hood hinges, and the struts on the hatch are out too, so I get those. Use the stick. Improvise. Alright, so as you can tell, it's all factory. It's even got the factory carb on it underneath that air cleaner. So, air conditioned, all the emissions are still hooked up and everything, so we're going to keep it all original. So we got the diagram and the identification there. Still has a heat shield. Just need a battery in it, which I just went and picked up a battery from my buddy Spencer, who also drives a 3rd gen. So, what I'm going to do now is we're going to try and start it. I already know that the clutches and the transmission are probably going to be completely gone, or the seals, the rear seal or the front seal, are going to be completely gone and just leak everywhere then. Because it's been sitting for 15 years without being started. So, good luck. We're just going to hook up just to get it running and see if all the electronics and everything still works. So, let's see if we can get it going. I don't even know if this battery will get it going enough. It's got old gas in it, and we're just going to fucking run it. So, let's do it. Nothing. He said there was power. Alright. Well, this ain't my fault. Spencer said there was power on this battery. Alright, try this one more time. Instead of dealing with trying to charge that crap, I just went and bought a new battery. Instead of being so conservative, just go spend the fucking money. Okay, so a quick change the spark plugs and wires, because all or majority of them, not sure how good you can see that, are split. Oh, hey, look, yeah, like that. And it looked like some of them also had rodents chewing through them. So, alright. And so cylinder 7 didn't even have a wire on the plug. Cylinder 8, the wire wasn't clicked onto the plug, so it was probably barely getting any contact, and it was screwed on less than, like, I could take it right out of there pretty much. So let's try this one more time. Now we're in the fuel machine. You know, say it didn't want to idle. That was a long time ago. We got really old gas. Alright, well, rebuilt the carburetor, and since it was my first quadrajet that I've ever rebuilt, it didn't go so good. Well, I did something not right. It sent fuel into the vacuum lines and pumped it through the emissions lines throughout the whole engine bay, and filled them up, and it was spitting out one cap that I need to get now that I noticed. But anywho, ordered a cheap quadrajet from China, and we'll see if it works. There's 2 electric plug-ins that the carb doesn't have that came factory, so I don't know if it's gonna mess it up or not. So I just gotta plug in the battery and hook up the throttle lines, and we'll get her started up and hope everything goes good this time.
You took my heart and you turned me on, and now the danger sign is on. I never thought the day would come when I would feel alone without you, and now I'm like a child again, calling out his mama's name. You've got me on a ball and
Well, it started. It's a little smoky. Woo-wee. All right, well, I don't know what the fuck. Sorry, Curtis, but the emissions has to come off. I'm not going to fix all of them. So, we're going emissionless. Hey. Can't believe that. Okay, well, I went ahead and put my hooker headers on it and put my exhaust from my last 3rd gen on it. So it's going to be quite a bit louder. There's 2 flowmasters and a custom built H-pipe. If you refer back to my last Camaro on that video, that exhaust. So, I hope I remembered everything, and let's start it up in here. Squeaky. There was a mouse living in one of them. Huh. Well, that sounded good. Squeaking then. Oh. Doesn't look like anything's in the way, so start it back up.